Not Be Silenced, the show that allows people to be seen, to be heard, and to be human. I'm your host, Melissa Woodfork White. In today's episode, we will talk about gaining financial independence with Jamar James. Sharing our stories allows us to encourage, inspire, motivate, uplift, and help people. There will be a special surprise at the end of the show. Be sure to listen all the way through for the details. Our special guest today is Jamar James. He is affectionately known as the DCG Mastermind, a strong crypto advocate for financial freedom and independence. Jamar leads a trading mastermind community called DCG Mastermind, which empowers entrepreneurs in trading and digital assets. In addition to teaching others, he has a unique way to leverage money in the market through trading strategies called discovery. Jamar runs monthly live trading groups where his top traders trade in person. He has created a dynamic coaching group designed to take an individual from being introduced to cryptocurrency to living completely off of cryptocurrency investments within 12 months. Jamar has helped thousands of people embrace crypto and is a leader in crypto trading and NFT collectibles. He received a computer science degree from DeVry, Long Beach in 2002 and is a former Marine who was honorably discharged in 1998. Jamar is going to share with us about gaining financial independence. Hi, Jamar. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Miss Melissa. I appreciate the love, and that was a great introduction.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. We're going to go ahead and jump right into our first question. How did you gain financial independence as a top trader and leader in crypto trading and NFT collectibles?
Yeah, so actually after the Marine Corps, I got into the financial markets and got a Series 6 and 3 license, and I kind of started off in Prime America and then moved, I got the introduction to the finances, and then I went into of course I was in college, and I got a position at Pacific Life Variable Annuities, and I got more and more in depth in trading myself. With a background in computer science, I migrated and started working for high frequency firms that were creating algorithms and different trading prop firms, and I realized that there was so much that the retail trader didn't know. And working with programs, I was able to start trading myself. And I started off as a swing trader, and then I turned into a day trader. And then around 2016, I met some other traders, and they were all getting into trading crypto. And around 2016, I took the expertise that I knew from trading in the traditional markets and transitioned into the digital assets. And it was just really just good timing, because 2017, we had a great run in the markets. Yes. But with the introduction of institutions into crypto, all the skills that learned trading the traditional stock market, it transferred over to the cryptocurrency and catching trends. So it's always been about timing, I think.
Okay. So tell us about some of the challenges,
right?
And some of your successes.
Yeah. So growing up in Oakland, the mentality is that you have to get out and you have to do everything yourself. And then I transitioned into the Marine Corps, and that was like hands-on. You learn from others. And as I joined different prop firms, I realized that in the financial markets, they always assign you people. Like, you never just get in the market. It's like, okay, you on your own, study, read a book, or watch YouTube. And, I got assigned to other experienced traders. And, when I transitioned to, the pros and cons in trading, a lot of people try to take it on themselves. They think they're going to read books. They think they're going to watch YouTubes. They think they're going to teach themselves. And that's why so many traders lose, is that, there's emotional aspect, intuition. There is so much in the market. There's too much information for one person to tackle by themselves. But we've been taught that we need to do things on our own. We need to study. We need to work hard. And really, it's about the speed of information. How well are you able to get it, and are you able to get the right information? And so that's the biggest con in trading, is that most people lose because there's so much that you can't develop emotional control reading a book. You can't develop intuition reading a book. You get a feel from the experience you actually have to do. And so That's the biggest con. So many people teach trading. So many people try to study their way into success.
Mm-hmm.
And you actually, in trading, you lose your way to success, from experience. And so getting around other traders, being around other people that's already successful, that's the fastest way to success, in my opinion. Right? If you're surrounded a room full of traders that are successful, or a room full of writers and they're successful, you're gonna get the right information faster and what's practical. It's almost like going to college. You go there for 4 years, but you get more of your experience by getting a job,
Mm-hmm.
in that field, and you learn what you really need to know.
All right. So you said a few specific gems right there. One is about that teamwork to be successful. If I heard you clearly, you were like, yeah, you can do it individually. You can, read up on it. You can watch the YouTube videos. But if you want to be successful, you have to have that team of traders around you, support to get that information and so forth. Right, Jamar?
Yeah, 1,000%. If you want to be successful, you got to be around people that's already successful.
Mm.
And that, I mean, that's the key. We all humans, but we learn more by observation,
Mm-hmm.
absorption. You've been around winners. It is a different energy, and you start getting that energy, and you also get confidence, right? How do you pull yourself up if you don't know if you're doing it right or wrong from the start?
Yes. And so another thing that you said, Jamar, I totally agree with you, is that it's not an island if you want to be successful. And I think that transcends into all aspects of business. We hear all the time and we see all the time that successful people in business and period, they're surrounded by other successful people in business. And it just transcends into your specific area of expertise, which is crypto trading, I'm getting tongue tied, crypto trading and
Right.
NFT collectibles.
Well, yeah, no, and we trade everything. And
Mm-hmm,
so, cryptocurrency is a new asset where there's no school, there's no place to really go learn it. You have to be involved.
mm-hmm,
But, our background is, we trade stocks, options, and futures. And, we added cryptocurrency in 2017. So, we take advantage of the trends in the market. And, at one point we were taking advantage of NFTs. And then when it slows down, we're able to navigate. And so we're a mastermind of traders that trade all markets.
nice.
Yeah.
That is excellent. And I do trading. I
Oh.
don't do trading. I do investing. Let me be specific. I'm that person that I want a financial person to advise me on what's best to invest, me do some research to, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
then let my money, that I'm into that passive income, Jamar,
Okay.
and then
Right.
let my money work for itself. And so in my investments, we have two different types of accounts. One that we actually do the buying of stocks and bonds and stuff ourselves, so that we could learn how to do it with
Right.
that financial, just like what you said, with a team
Right.
of people that are successful at doing it. And then we have that automated account where you have them do it. So we
Okay.
have both aspects of that from the investment perspective. And
Right.
so it gives
So,
us that experience that you just talked about.
uh-huh.
Because in the one that we manage ourselves, we were a little skeptical about the crypto.
Right.
But in the one that's managed by them, they have a percentage of crypto in it. So I'm just
Okay.
like, it's one of those things that you just said, you have to learn yourself as you go along with those team of experts around you and
Right.
successes around you to guide you, if
All
that
right.
makes sense.
No, that totally makes sense. And that's the majority, right? 80%, 90% of people, that's why you have financial professionals out there. I'm not licensed, they're licensed, they got permission, but we don't need permission to take care of our own, right? And
Exactly.
so, how long have you been working?
Since I was 15.
15. And what have you been working for?
And so I started off as
No, 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 no,
most
no.
people.
I said, why do you go to work?
Oh, I graduated from Howard University School of Business, and they
My
taught
daughter's
us
going
how
there.
to leverage. I'm gonna just say it, Jamar.
Okay.
They taught us how to leverage our income so that we can become entrepreneurs. And
Right.
so with that being said, where I began in my career, the first 10 years working on Wall Street, Fortune 500 companies, so that I can leverage my income to make those investments, my Roth IRA, 401k, and all of that to maximize it. So then, like you, I don't have to wait until I'm 67 to retire. I can retire at 55. The way that I did it is taking me a little bit more time, but still I get to retire at 55.
Right. So no, the important part that, you know, I teach and you know, what you said, and congratulations on Howard too. My daughter is actually going there. So
Oh, Bison.
yeah, so she's actually gonna play softball for Howard, and it is important. And one of my masterminds, he's actually at school of one of the board advisors for the school.
Nice.
School.
Oh, you need to tell me his name because I stay in the loop, honey.
Frank Turner.
Okay, so because he's still living. Frank Turner is currently living in the Frank Turner that I graduated from with the School of Business. He lives in Costa Rica. So he used to live in California. Puerto Rico. There you go. So we're talking about my fellow brother alumni. Is that correct?
Correct. So
Jamar James, we are in the same circles.
So, but no. So the mentality is that we've done.
Wait, Jamar. He is from Alabama, right?
Alabama, yeah, 100%.
Yes, that's Frank Turner. Yes.
Yeah. If you say my name, we're connected.
Okay.
But no, I want to say though, you know, we've done so much to work and acquire money, and for us to give it to someone else to take care of, you know, part of our legacy and part of our history is that, you know, we have to take ownership and we need to knowledge ourselves, because we don't want our kids to pass off the things that we leave behind to someone else to manage.
Yes.
You know, we need to educate our people ourselves, and we have to take ownership of that, because we've spent 5, 10, 15, 20 years of your life acquiring assets, acquiring wealth, and working for this money and sweat. I want to retire now, and I also want to own my future and own my legacy.
Yes, and own your time.
Own my time, right?
Because you had asked me that question, and I'm like, yeah, I'm all up. See, there's a saying, Jamar, and I know you know it, about people that work for other people, making money, and then retire at the retirement age. They don't own their time.
Right.
Whereas people that leverage their time working for others, they're the ones that eventually get to own their time. They have that financial independence, that financial freedom that comes with that. And so that's why I'm like, it's so important. It's important to have you on the show today to educate our audience and to provide them with those golden nuggets and those gems that you've been dropping with us on the importance of that.
Right. And so managing your money in the stock market, you know, one of the advantages of stock market and crypto, there's no racism, there's no colorism, there's no way you can get blackballed, there's no way someone can hold you back. It is, if you have the knowledge to work the markets, you're sitting behind a computer screen, you have no overhead, you have no employees, you actually are mobile, you can be anywhere in the world. And once you acquire that skill, you know, you have another level of freedom. And really now your money is working for you, because, you know, my employees become my money. And when I'm risking it in the market, you know, the number one goal is risk management. And so for me in life, it is protect your freedom, protect your time, and also protect your resources. So you have those resources available, you can always make more. But it's kind of hard to make more if you don't have anything. And so, you know, that's another thing that, you know, in our environment, so many traders, you know, they get into different groups and they don't know who to trust, and they get misinformed. Here it's like, hey, you know, you're the one that's going to save you.
Yes.
You're the one that's going to trade your funds. You're the one that, you know, is going to take the losses and take the wins. And we take ownership of that. And that's a source of pride, knowing that can't no one stop me from making money. Can't no one stop me in crypto. I can't be stopped in the stock market. If there's a market, I have opportunity.
Yes. And so, Jamar, that leads me to our next question. How does your business, DCG Mastermind, help people to gain financial independence Share with us about your business, your products, and your services that you offer.
Okay. And so my business is I came from the environment of Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, the mastermind principle. It is really, you get access to traders that actually are living off trading, and you get access to all the courses, all the strategies, the call outs that we're doing, what we're in, the mindset. So we have about I do 16 classes a month live on Zoom. So 4 times a week, I'm live actually going through what I'm trading, how am I thinking, and it's hands-on, it's group coaching, but it's also custom coaching for each individual because we all have different sizes. There's new traders, there's experienced traders, there's intermittent traders, it's breaking out. And so it's a true mastermind. And that's what the business model is. We're selling the mastermind with all the custom indicators I use, the strategies I use. Those are all available. Everything is inclusive inside the mastermind. So if you see another trader using something, we've all determined that, hey, we're going to share and give this information to the guys inside this private room. And that is kind of the mastermind principle. And guys like Frank Turner, that's aboard on School of Business, he's in the mastermind and he's taking trades with us. And it's like, all from different backgrounds. We have doctors and
So
lawyers.
that's how he built his business. That's how he was able to leverage his income working for those Fortune 500 companies.
Right.
Then eventually working for himself.
Yeah. And he also manages private funds.
Yes.
Right. And so, we have that expertise as well because he's, involved in the mastermind. You have guys from, business owners in different areas of life all kind of working together.
That is the products, the services that you offer, they seem priceless. And just from you sharing about my Howard alumni and his success working with the DC Mastermind is priceless in itself. That's enough for me. But can you tell us, other than Frank, can you share with us another story about a successful customer, a successful client that you've had with DC Mastermind?
So, I mean, a lot during COVID, we had a lot of teachers come in because they weren't going into
career education.
Yeah, so we had a lot of teachers that came into our environment. And, I think COVID hit around March and April. And when they shut the schools down and over summer, the teachers were scared to go back to school. And we had LA Unified School District teachers that are in our mastermind, and a lot of them never went back. And they created their own business.
I'm not stopping you, but I'm just like, everybody needs to be a part of DC Mastermind.
I mean, they're taking pay away and cutting hours, and it's like, you still need. I mean, to me, teachers are very important. But you also need the resources, and you're giving a lot of your time and sacrifice, and a lot of teachers have their own family, and it's like, well, you're taking care of the other kids, and it comes to a point where it's like, I need the resources to really help people, right? And that's one of the things that we did is, we took some of the teachers and helped them get the resources, and then we can offer free classes, and every other day, every other week, it was a free class, and we did workshops. And so we created an environment where it's like resources give you opportunity.
Yes.
And the market doesn't stop anyone from getting it. It's like a lot of people lose because they're on by themselves. But when you have a support group and other traders are winning and learning an actual skill, then it becomes a lifeline, a lifetime skill.
Yes, I totally agree with you. I mean, from what you just said, more gems about how the market is anybody can trade.
Yeah.
Anybody can trade. And then from all walks of life, which you just shared with us, because Frank, who comes from finance, and then educators, totally different career, anybody. And so I like the fact, because I am a 17-year veteran educator.
Right.
I traded in. I always tell people I traded in my corner office. If I name the companies that I worked for on Wall Street for those 10 plus years before I traded in my corner, you would know each one of them.
Right.
They are recruiters of Howard University graduates,
Okay.
School of Business. And so with that being said, just a little information. A lot of the businesses that link with Howard University School of Business, they're there from your freshman year to your senior year. So
Okay.
they're vetting you from freshman to senior year. They're not just coming in like they do at most colleges your
Right.
last year to try to recruit you. No, they come in, they do seminars, they do every little thing, the course of your career through School of Business, because
Right.
they're looking to hire you.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so with that being said, yes. Okay, Jamar, I just lost my train of thought.
Right. So
Take me back.
they're looking to hire you, and a lot of times, if you don't have a plan, somebody else has a plan for you. And that's what I got out of the conversation is that, you can get a job on Wall Street and, based on association, right? Going to Howard, going through the School of Business, but your financial plan, to be able to retire yourself is like, what am I going to do with this money? And so like one of the biggest, people who we attract is business owners that even though they had their own business and they're successful, they don't have the time. And so then they're looking at other options like, hey, how do I make my money work for me so I can actually, because even having a business and being an entrepreneur, it's still a lot of work.
Yes, it is, because I am one of those.
So
yes,
you
it is.
spend hours, right? You spend, people think you stop working when you're an entrepreneur, but no,
Mhm.
you actually just require you, if you don't do it right, you may be working 20 hours a day.
Mhm.
And so, that income that you're making on the entrepreneur side, that's who a lot of our guys are, coming into our mastermind.
Mhm.
They want to also know how to, you know, get away from the business and what they're going to do when they're done with the business or when they sell it. And trading becomes a good alternative because they can have time to learn and they have the capital, but they want the time freedom.
And I understand that. I remembered where I was going with my previous statement is that I traded in my corner office for a corner classroom. And so I've been in education for the last 17 years, the leadership, the whole nine. And so with that being said, to hear you say that you were able to help a massive amount of educators during the COVID pandemic, and then you gave them options on whether or not they wanted to go back because they were cutting salary, they were cutting hours, they were trying not to pay us because we weren't in school, and then
Right.
it was the government that shut us down. And I'm just like, to be one of the richest countries in the world, we some greedy mofos.
Yeah.
And so, and I say that to me, not to offend anybody, but America is capitalistic. It's all about getting more money. Would you agree with that, Jamar James?
Yeah, I mean, it's a gift and a curse if you're aware, and it is about the money. And the same thing. I mean, the stock market has been going up ever since COVID, and I think the government has helped it go up. And everybody's thinking, hey, it's going to crash, it's going to crash, and it's like, no, this is America, and
Mm-hmm.
it is about financial. I mean, half these companies are the reason inflation is so high because of COVID. Half these companies never cut back, right? There was no
Exactly. They
right,
ran at the same rates that they were
right.
running at
Right.
during
When
COVID.
the supply chain was short and they said
Mm-hmm.
we can't get it and everything is more expensive, they never said, hey, you know what? Well, we're going to reduce it now since everything is back to normal. They was like, oh, well, let's keep it up. We had an opportunity and we're making more money. And, that is the American way.
Well, I will agree with you about this. Is something that you said about educators, because I am a veteran educator, is how undervalued we are.
Right. Undervalued. Right.
Yes. And so that's why I'm like, I've always been, everywhere that I've worked, I've been able to leverage my income, leverage our income. And for instance, I'll give you an example, Jamar. So if my husband is making 100 grand and I'm making 80 grand, then we'll live off the 100 grand and we'll leverage the 80 grand. That comes with financial literacy, and that
Right.
also leads to financial independence.
Right. So no, that's financial. Think about a teacher. If you went to any other country and you had 10 private students, you would get paid $1,000 a month for each student.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you're getting paid 10 grand a month right away.
Mm-hmm.
If you took out the middleman, which is the public school or the institution,
Mm-hmm.
and you would have less kids to teach. You give them better quality. You have a better curriculum, and you get paid more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the outside the box thinking of like, hey, we own our time. I own all the education that
Yes.
you have. You're so much more valuable than
Hmm.
what someone else is willing to pay you.
Yes. And so, with that being said, Jamar, tell us how does sharing your story today help others? Share the work that you have done or doing to bring about change. Provide specific details. Tell about the current and future plans for DCG Mastermind.
Right. So for us, the mastermind is one, it inspires people, when they walk in the room and there's guys from different backgrounds and they realize that the real wealth is time. When they see that we have time to take walks or do 2, 3 hours of I walk 5 miles every day. I'm with my kids. They play softball. One is in dance, and they see how much time I spend with the family. And it's like, well, what we figured out is that the amount of money that you need, right? You can get, I made a couple thousand off of Costco on Friday in a couple hours. And it's like, some people don't make that in a week and
Yeah.
there's 40 hours. So really the real wealth is in time. And we have time to, inspire each other and help guys, remove themselves from business. And now we have people inside the mastermind. They're starting up AI courses. One of the educators that I was thinking about, she made it in trading and now she's actually teaching people AI and created her own course. And so she's still an educator, but she's used the
To leverage.
financial leverage of being in the markets to
Hmm.
be able to follow her passion and teach on her own accord things that are new. So that's one of our things that we celebrate is that everyone that's in the mastermind has an opportunity to live the life that they want, and they can create a business. They can, trade. They can create a legacy because they had the resources to do it. And
Mm.
that's what the mastermind is really about. And that's where we've evolved. Where even a lot of people in the mastermind, they've went off to and teach others and have their own groups. And so we've inspired guys because like there's no shortage of people wanting to learn.
Hmm.
There is a shortage of people that's really teaching.
And I agree with that. I do agree with that. And
All
so,
right.
Jamar, for my audience, our audience that's listening and watching in, if you all want to own your time, if you all want to gain financial independence, if you want to learn about how to take control of your future, and not be working for someone for the rest of your life till you retire and only getting like 20, is it 20% or 25% when you retire of your income? I know it's not over 30 because both of my parents are retired. If my
Yeah.
daddy didn't have his pension, huh?
All right.
That Social Security is, people just don't understand about Social Security unless they've had what you just said about having a group of people around you that
All
already
right.
has experienced that to be able to tell you. And because I have my parents, I was just like, I already knew that Social Security wasn't cut out what it was.
Right.
It wasn't going to be, it's more like what I would call, you work your entire life to only get less than half of your money back, and then you can't live off of that because you worked your entire life and you live off a double of what that half amount is that you're going to get
Right.
from Social Security.
So
And
you
so what
go.
I'm telling people to do, Jamar James,
Right.
is to contact you, to get in
Okay.
touch with you. I recommend you
Right.
so that they can gain financial freedom. Tell our audience how they can contact you, get in touch with you, and become a part of the DC Mastermind.
Yeah, so we have a free course and it's on joindcg.com. So just joindcg.com. And it's to get you involved. And then we have a trade school, which that trade school is designed to work with you for 30 days before you even get in the mastermind. So there's levels, but to follow me, go to just Jamar James on Facebook, on Instagram, and just follow me socially. Um, you know, and get involved in the environment. You can send me a message on any one of those platforms. If you want to schedule a call with me, it's jamarjames.io. It goes to my calendar. And, our thing is talking to real people and putting you in an environment where you're going to be surrounded by guys that, there's no retirement for me. Like I'll do this the rest of my life and I enjoy it and I can make.
But no, you'll be retired from your 9 to 5.
I don't have a 9 to 5.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
You'll be retired. Oh my gosh. You, when I say from, I know you don't have a 9 to 5, but when I say I just wanted to say you'll be retired, but you'll still be working.
I'm retired now. People look at me in the neighborhood and it's like, what do you do?
So you're
It's like,
retired. Yeah. But you'll still be doing what you're doing. That's what I meant to say,
yeah.
Jamar.
I love my life.
There you go. Well, Jamar, thank you so much for joining us today. I have enjoyed our conversation. We will continue this conversation offline because there are some things that came up during this interview and this conversation that I have some questions for you.
That sounds good.
So with that being said, next week, we'll continue to discuss and have conversations about real experiences, personal and professional, stories that need to be shared, seen, and heard that makes us human. The truth will not be silenced, to be seen, to be heard, to be human. The surprise, if you like or leave a positive comment about this show, you will get a shout out. This includes businesses, products, service, organizations, and events. Following the link in the show notes lets Buzzsprout know we sent you and help support our show. Buzzsprout is the best way to launch a professional podcast. Want to ask a question, be a guest, or subscribe to this podcast? The truth will not be silenced. Click on the show link. Thank you for joining us.